Maverick Traders. This is Rob Reinhold. It is the Market Roundup, August 24th, and what a big day. So let's get into it. In this session, we're going to be covering what happened today. We got a lot of news. We got a lot of news tomorrow coming up, but big reversals in the market today. We're going to look at our current score. We were at a negative 1.5 on the markets for this week, and we actually had a big fall today. We'll take a look at it. And as always, we're always looking for trading setups, so I've got 3 trades for you here in this session.
Disclaimer. This video was created for professional stock and option traders. Maverick Trading is a proprietary trading firm that employs professional traders around the world. Our traders trade firm capital and keep 70 to 80% of profits they generate. All trades and analysis in this video are for professional traders only. If you are interested in becoming a professional trader for Maverick, click the Apply button in the video description. Let's break down what happened today.
Looking at the numbers, it was an ugly, ugly day. And not just when you understand the numbers here. So again, Dow down 1%, S&P down 1.3%, NASDAQ almost down 2%. You need to understand that at one point, all of these were up 1%. Well, not all of them, but the Qs are up 1% overnight. Take a look at this 30-minute chart I pulled. I wanted to show you where the market closed last night. We got the NVIDIA earnings. The market went up about 0.8, 0.9%. And then look at this selling, and it was relentless all day long till we closed on the lows. We had the Russell fell 1.3%. Oil actually clawed back after about a 2% drop in the morning. Gold was flat. The big news, though, was NVIDIA. And again, it was great news. NVIDIA's earnings were fantastic. Their guidance was fantastic. And they said that the demand for their product was tremendous. I've never heard that before. Tremendous. And you can see here, there was no buyers. NVIDIA was priced to perfection. It reached perfection, and there was no one behind it to buy it. And so the market did not like that whatsoever. The market tumbled. It was a nasty, nasty day. We had 3 out of every 4 stocks were down. And take a look. We are so far now into red territory on the stocks that are trading below the 50-day moving average. 73% of all stocks are now below their 50-day MA. This is just a big, ugly candle. And let's take a look at this chart. There is nothing pretty about this. In the trading room, I said that I thought we'd probably get a little bounce based on our candle we had on Friday. This was Friday's candle. I said, okay, there's a little bit of buying coming in. I said, I think we bounce up and we get back to 44.40 and we turn over. And I got to say, last night after NVIDIA announced, I was thinking, oh my gosh, we may not stop at this resistance point. Big, nasty. And that is a nasty, nasty, bearish engulfing candle. It was just ugly. So we said once we broke the 50-day moving average, we said we are no longer bullish. We must go to neutral to bearish. And here we are. We did not get back above the moving averages. We did not get back above this resistance line. This is just a confirmation that the uptrend is truly dead. That's what we said. It is dead. This is just more confirmation that the current uptrend that we'd had over the last couple of months is dead. That does not mean it's automatically in a downtrend. We don't know that yet. It's highly likely, but we at least have to say it might be sideways here for a little bit. Taking a look at the Qs, they had an even bigger bounce off the bottom. But look, this is just another nasty candle. Came right up to moving averages, hit its head on it, and we have come back down. There's really nothing bullish to talk about here. We can only say that the market is either going to go sideways or lower over the next couple weeks. Here is the heat map. You can see here all the big large cap techs got absolutely hammered, and NVIDIA still closed positive for the day, but basically flat. This thing was up huge pre-market, and it gave it all back. When we see this kind of price action, it's telling us the market was fully priced in. Remember, the market's expecting what is going to happen in the future, and it priced in this amazing news from NVIDIA, and there was no one left to buy behind it. Let's take a look at our market score. On the trading room, we were at a negative 1.5. We weren't quite at a negative 2 because we said, hey, look, we had this green counter here. We're likely going to get a little bounce. But again, we're still more bearish than bullish at this point. And we had a -1 on the week. Looks like this week is going to end up being, well, again, we're basically lost everything we had made for the week. We're still up a little bit for the week, but we'll have to see what happens tomorrow. Let's look at some potential trades.
Have you been trading in the markets for at least 2 years? Are you starting to see some decent progress? Is that progress so small because of your limited account size? Maverick Trading is a prop firm that provides capital to profitable traders. You trade a minimum $25,000 account and keep 70 to 80% of the profits. After 2 consecutive profitable months, you move to a $50,000 account. As you keep progressing, you will be able to trade 6- and 7-figure accounts. To learn more about trading for Maverick Trading, either click on the Apply card in the top left, click Apply at the end screen, or click the link in the description to watch our recruiting video that explains more about Maverick and prop trading. If you like what you see, apply for a position and meet with our recruiters. Are you our next trader?
Surprisingly, I found a good number of bullish trades. But unsurprisingly, I found a huge number of bearish trades. As you can see, I have no neutral trades. I do not like neutral trading at the moment. I've reached out to some of our delta neutral traders and saying, hey, why don't you cool it a little bit? This is not the kind of market to be messing around with this low volatility environment we had going into this fall. It's not a really great environment. So I'm going to be showing 0 sideways trades. Let's take a look at the bull. Here we are with DLR, Digital Realty Trust. It's in the real estate sector. And you can see here, we had a nice breakout today. And we've had just a really nice bit of trading. And someone forgot to tell this stock that there was a huge sell-off today. Now granted, this candle, if we had a positive today, this candle would have closed at its high. It gave it all back. Okay, it definitely a little disappointing, but when you take a look at stocks that lost 2, 3, 4% today, and this thing was up 1.3, it just gave back a little bit of its gains. I really like this one, but I'm not going any better than 130. That's going to be my max target on this. So I really like diagonal call spreads on this, like a 125, 130 diagonal call spread. I'm not asking it to go higher. I'm just asking for it to hang out in here. It can go higher. I'm okay with that. I'll still make a profit. But it really just needs to hold this 126 to 130 area for some profit. Let's go take a look at 2 shorts. These were easy to find, and I kind of went back and forth between this one, Mobileye, and also DocuSign. I like DocuSign as a short. There was just a ton in tech. This is a low and tight base. So one of my favorite patterns, and I could never trade these as a young trader because I always thought they'd gone too far. What this low and tight base, or this high, let me show you a high and tight base. You get a big run, and all of a sudden it refuses to go down. And typically you get about 5 candles, and that's all you get. And the moving average hasn't caught up to it yet, and they break out and run anyway. As you can see here, this is just the opposite of that. We've got this low and tight base. I don't think these moving averages are going to catch up to it like we see in usual bases. I think this thing's just going to drop. I'm looking at 30 on a target on this one. So I'm looking at a 30-35 bear call spread on Mobileye. You can check out DocuSign too. It's a good setup. I didn't want to show 2 tech stocks, so I said, okay, what else looks really terrible? And in the oil sector, we have seen mostly bullish activity in the oil sector, and this is terrible. Valvoline, VVV. And you can see it has completely ignored any sort of bullishness in the energy sector, and this thing's going lower. Since this sector is one of the stronger sectors, I want to be a little bit less bearish on this. So 32 would probably be the most I'd go on a target. So I'm looking at like a 32-34 bear call spread. Pretty boring, just a little bear call spread here. You could do a 33-34 and just make it all theta, which is just fine. But I'm going to be looking to go down to 32 on this one. Let's talk tomorrow. Tomorrow we have the Jackson Hole Symposium. We have Chairman Powell speaking at 10:05 a.m. Eastern Time. Likely going to be pretty quiet until then, and then there's probably going to be about 30 minutes there of really big volatility. I think we get another very big move, and based on what he says, it could be a move to the upside. We could be, we'll go down 1% and then end the day up 1%. We'll have to see what happens on that candle, but I think you need to expect a lot of volatility tomorrow as well. We will update everything in the trading room on Friday with where we see the scores going, where we see things next week. I want to see tomorrow's candle to really make a decision, whether we're at like a -1 or if we're at like a -2.5. I mean, we're still going to be bearish no matter which way, unless we get some crazy candle tomorrow that throws everything into disarray, which I don't think we're going to get to the upside. The big question is, do we get a little bounce tomorrow or do we get a big sell-off tomorrow? That's the only question. We're still leaning to the bear side at a -1.5. The question is, does it go back up to a -1 or does it go down to a -2.5 or a -3? We will just have to see what happens. That is the market roundup. Thanks for joining me. Goodbye, everyone.